Wisconsin Death Trip. I can't thank you enough for showing me this movie. I feel like
I love this movie.
I'm a
so
better
much.
movie person for having seen this. I really am.
God, I wish this had been in HD.
Oh, me too. The quality was really shitty.
Quality was
1999 Cinemax, baby.
Man.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's obviously a rights lockup. They don't have a current version out because there's a rights issue.
It was shot on tape. Also.
Yeah.
No, it was. I looked it up.
Aired for the BBC, right?
No, I looked it up. It was Super 16.
Cinemax.
Oh.
Well, so the director that did this actually has quite a career.
James Marsh. He made Man on Wire. He also made The Theory of Everything.
Yeah. It's like this is a good start.
He's got a good track record lately, but this was a very weird little what a cool idea.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's not a novel. It's a book. There's a book called Wisconsin Death Trip,
the stories that they're going through, are they legit? Or they just happen to
they're
be
real.
They are legit.
That's the thing. That's the selling point. These are real stories. I know. I'm a huge fan of what's her name, Mary
Sweeney.
Mary Sweeney. She is my spirit animal at this point.
Mary Sweeney's.
I thought you were a big fan of.
It was so funny. I think it was you, Tad, in the chat a few hours ago to mention Edward Gorey, because that was the first thing that popped in my head watching this movie. It was like a live action Edward Gorey cartoon.
Absolutely.
It absolutely was. The whole film was like that. It was wonderful.
I mean, I just wrote fucking John Cale, you go, wait, this is on YouTube. This has got to be some kind of weird little indie YouTube thing. And then you go, no, man, that's John Cale's doing the music. If you hadn't told me that was Ian Holm, I wouldn't have initially thought it, because he was doing an accent.
I knew it was him right away, or someone doing an impression.
No, I didn't know. I had to look it up. And then, man, out of nowhere, they pull a Lock May reference, which is just you just went to the top of the pile with this one, because I fucking love that.
Uh-huh.
What reference?
They worked that whole story in.
What reference? I'm sorry.
Lock May, the opera you'll remember from The Hunger. You know this. You know the.
But that's more like an opera reference than a movie. Reference to a movie. But that's the thing. Again, it was brilliantly done, and oh my god, there's also visual references to Godfrey Reggio and Ron Frick, in terms of documentary. People staring at the camera,
right? Standing still
in the color sequences.
Photography was very creepy and weird.
In the black and white sequences where they would stand the actors rock still, so you'd think you were looking at another old photo. And then they were moving the camera.
The blending of old photos and new stuff was really seamless. Probably the blurriness helped quite a bit for this one.
Yeah, I wish. I guess I'm in the minority.
I know.
It reminded me a lot.
I didn't like it.
I hated it.
Oh, okay. Jared,
I really wanted it. I think it should have been a 20-minute short film if you're going to do this idea.
It took the words right out of my mouth.
If I had one critique, it could be short.
It also had some weird, it was like pornography for evil. And I was like, this is fucking, and I nothing offends me, but I was like, this is like an exercise in stupidity. Dude, the whispering guy. Oh my fucking god! Okay, see, I watched it on my laptop with my headphones, and when that guy whispers, I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah, I hated that.
I fucking hate that guy so much.
I
love Ian Holm.
It was a bit obvious.
I love Ian Holm.
Why is he whispering? Why? Why do you whisper that?
And also, the tone, the musical choices set the tone. I know exactly what they wanted to do, but it was like nails on a fucking chalkboard the whole fucking movie, dude. I was like, this is just the whole tone of this is I think I'm cool and dark and slick and weird, but I'm actually just being annoying and boring.
No, wow.
That's what I thought.
It just wore out its welcome. 20 minutes.
20-minute short film.
That was
brilliant.
There's no plot.
It could have been
It's supposed to be a plot. Holy shit.
But you know how you say, I love them so much, I'd listen to them read the phone book. Well, not true, actually, because I just heard Ian Holm read the fucking phone book, and it sucked, dude. It sucked.
Okay, well, as you know, I showed Baraka last week, so I'm kind of a fan of pure cinema. So this played out like that. It didn't have to have a story, but it told a story with telling smaller stories. So we got to the point. Mary Sweeney was one of the ties from the beginning to end, and also that opera singer. Beginning to end. And you learned, you see what happens at the end. And the thing is, okay, we want to talk about the glorious past of northern Wisconsin in 1890. You know, it's like everyone has a rosy idea about what American history is. And this was like, no, it was full of suicide and murder and mayhem and crazy shit.
United States.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that a bit because
Yeah.
it was like,
I did see it as an allegory for the whole country.
Yeah.
Everyone was on cocaine and laudanum. Like,
well said.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was legal back then.
Here's the thing. I didn't know if this was representative of a particularly bad thing that was happening in the town, or if they just found a bunch of old obituaries and read them aloud and made a movie about
so
These are
the
newspaper articles.
the book.
Hear me out. So I watched this whole movie, and then the algorithm from YouTube fed me up a 10-minute, eerie stories Australian TV show that recapped everything that happened in Wisconsin Death Trip in 10 minutes. And it was better because I understood when it started, when it ended, and that it was this mysterious anomaly. And since there's no setup at all in Wisconsin Death Trip, I was unmoored. I didn't know where this was going or what was going on. It's a remarkable period of time in this particular town, in this particular year. And I wasn't told that. So I didn't know really
They
what
did tell you that at the beginning.
They did tell you that.
But it was also extremely inconsistent. It had not only season title cards from like an old typewriter or an old print face, but
Yeah.
it also had like title cards from like in a silent movie, and none of it seemed to actually be coherent or at least cohesive. Like it was sort of like presenting you multiple different narrative, text things that really didn't amount to anything.
I would have loved it as a short film, but I just thought it was very repetitious. I mean, here she comes. She's going to break some more glass.
I know. I
Because
thought that part was.
they need something to tie it together.
Also, my
Well,
wife,
but I think
my
that's what he
wife
was
is now
trying to do,
inspired
the
to what.
connecting-
Go ahead.
The connecting tissue back to the present day, which he kept going back to. And listen, I'm like a huge fan of ugly white people movies. Like I love it, right? Like go watch A Serious Man, the Coen brother movie.
Oh,
It's
dude.
Great of ugly white people.
Mhm.
Love it. I was unconvinced whether or not the connecting back to the present day wasn't borderline contemptuous.
I hate to say it, but it probably was.
I think it was like
I think
right
it
there.
was.
No,
Yeah.
No, but the people in that town embrace this. Like,
Right.
like there's that scene when they're in the diner and they're talking about Ed Gein.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like this is their
Ico.
thing. Their thing is how many people have died here. Like,
Gotta have a thing.
no,
Yeah.
but it's death cult shit. It's
Yeah.
that's why I think it matters more in modern day, is because we're watching death cult shit play out nonstop. Like, this movie
On a
is
national level.
yeah, this movie is, look at this
That's a
death
good
cult.
point.
It's fucked up.
It's a good point.
yeah.
Yeah, but then how come they photograph all the reenactments so romantically?
Because
Well, because he's got to match the photos.
Yeah.
yeah,
Ironical distancing.
No. Well, reenacting old stuff, it's like that's a question of
He's
whether or
got
not
to
it's
match the
honest or not.
photos.
Also, John did. I talked about this last night with Jen, who's from Wisconsin.
Oh yeah.
Did you now?
Not only did she see this, but she knew about this, and she kind of shrugged. It's like that's kind of what it's like in northern Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah,
During the
absolutely.
winter.
Yeah, it didn't even phase her. It's like, yeah,
They're
that's
up
how
too
things
high.
are. That's how things were.
Well, I feel like it's sort of like this movie about, I feel like it was like, I mean, I know the guy went on to do like, he did like the theory of everything and
Yeah.
stuff, but like, it almost seems like someone was like, oh, I'm just obsessed with, like death cult shit. I'm just obsessed with this. I don't really have anything I want to say about it, but I just think it's really cool. And so let me make this movie. And you're like, well, do you have like a point?
Yeah.
Oh,
We keep
Jesus.
saying death
Do you have
cult.
a
Like there's
moral?
somehow some of this stuff is no. I just think it's like life was fucking hard and weird.
No.
And people had like hair trigger tempers and they were willing to kill themselves over like
Everyone's drunk and
a back boil.
But
Yeah.
it's hard to watch 2 hours of anecdotes because that's what it
But it
is.
was an hour. It wasn't 2 hours. An hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah, it was very short. The
2
thing is,
hours.
this is America in 1890.
But I also-
Everyone was drunk. Everybody had guns. Everybody was insane, and everyone's on laudanum, and everyone's on cocaine, and everyone's
Right.
doing crazy
And they
shit.
worked 6
It's just
days
like-
a week.
And the thing is, you go back 100, you go to 1790, you probably see the same fucking shit on a smaller scale.
well, this
like-
is the perfect example of the famous tweet, which is, being an old-timey doctor would rule. You just show up somewhere and say, you have ghosts in your blood, you should do cocaine about it.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense to me.
Works for me.
That limb's got to go.
I just, yeah. It's not that
Leeches.
I think that there's something worth, there's something of merit in this film for sure. I just personally didn't enjoy it. I really wanted to turn it off, but I love you guys, so I watched it till the end.
You know, I'm gonna say right now, I wish it was a better print because that.
I wish it was a better.
I wish it were a better print too.
Yeah, it was made it hard to watch because it's so
Better print.
blurry. Yeah, that's.
I loved it. I thought it was too short.
Oh wow! Well, Jim's gonna have some
15
perspective
hours.
on this. Go ahead, Jim.
Jim,
Jim,
you
you
can take a,
curveball.
Jim, you can.
Jim also was there, so
Yeah, I've been to Wisconsin.
That's terrible. Take that shit back.
Jim, you can
Wow.
sell it. You can produce the TV series, Jim, and do like 8 seasons of it.
Yeah, I 12
You know, it
seasons.
feels like
Fuck that
Fargo
shit.
a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It was
Weird.
fun because at the beginning I was like trying to figure out, because I didn't look up anything about it beforehand, but I was trying to figure out, are these real sort of 40 and times kinds of stories, or is it just somebody making up shit like that?
It's also
together.
It's also very much the opening of Magnolia.
Yeah. But you know what it really reminded me of?
Yeah.
There's a Peter Greenaway movie that's not quite a short. It's almost a feature, but it's from before Draftsman's Contract, where he like does this whole biography of this artist who you figure out towards the end never really existed, and he's got like his art and his stuff, and you're going through museums and there's all this shit going on, and you know towards the end of it you go, this is just whatever Peter Greenaway made up before
So it's
he started
completely
shooting.
manufactured.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, a question for
If not for the fact his movies are really fucking long, I would have loaded my choices up with Peter Greenaway movies by now.
no one's hit him yet. That's the thing.
It's because
that's coming
they're
up.
hard to get a hold of and they're long.
I told you about the
Belly of an Architect, the best.
I saw the oh god,
Dennehy, Brian Dennehy.
I played that at the Vogue.
Yes.
Like 14 people showed up.
I would argue Drowning by Numbers and Cook the
Drowning
Thief.
by Numbers is
No,
good too.
Cook the Thief
Thief,
and Drowning and Belly are my three. Like
A
the
Z
triumvirate.
and 2 knots.
Okay, I
Those
saw
are
Cook
also
Thief,
very good.
I saw Cook Thief, Wife and Lover at the Lumiere in a
Oh, the
preview.
Castro.
I know that's where it
That's
opened.
his
but
most
it
accessible movie.
previewed at the Lumiere for reviewers and critics.
Yeah.
About half the people walked out.
It's a masterpiece.
It's got Helen Mirren and Michael
Masterpiece.
Gambon.
Also, this is a question for John. Do you remember that we went to a couple of years ago to the Museum of Jurassic Technology in Venice?
You betcha.
Yeah, and you walked upstairs in this little theater upstairs, and it's like as you sit down,
Don't make a movie.
this film would fit perfectly there, don't you think?
Yes, it has that old-timey wow. People are really
old-timey people. Yeah, and is it real
People
or
are
is it
queer.
not, or is it made up, or is this just weirdness from the past kind of thing? It's like it has that creepy haunted house feel that the whole museum has.
Yeah,
And,
for sure. Yeah, I was stumped because you didn't give me much setup when we walked in there.
I
And so
love that,
I
John.
just was
You were oh my God, you were wonderful there. You were just like, the MJT is a place I used to be a member there. It's a museum about the idea of museums in the 19th century kind of sense. And
right.
so John there, and his eyes were just big as baseballs the entire time he was there. It was great. It's a weird place, and if you go to LA, if it ever opens up again, do go and spend all day.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're like split on this one.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of it.
We're split on both, actually. which
I
is
liked a lot of
interesting.
this one. If I had anything to say, it was maybe a little longer than it needed to be, and I couldn't tell whether or not it was like contemptuous toward present day Wisconsin, but I didn't really care about that part.
I've been to Wisconsin, present day Wisconsin, and they deserve that sort of.
I've seen how they vote, so I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
I thought the old folks home part was like kind of like a teenager. Oh my God, they're all gonna get sick and die thing. That was obvious. That was stupid. The
I
rest
thought it was
pretty
an
good.
homage to Cocoon.
Yeah. Okay.